This is the moment of reckoning between human nature and the force of nature, the tipping point of our collective future. Join us for a selection of the best web videos on climate and energy innovation. Right here, right now, on this planet.
Today, we're all about the cities of this planet and how they cope with changing realities. Let's start in New York, which got a wet wake-up call in 2012 from Hurricane Sandy. Now there's a big vision for the Big Apple's future, called the Dryline.
That was actually why Sandy was so bad, is because of the phase of the moon, it was already a very large high tide, as well as the storm surge coming in with the wind and the tide lining up perfectly to give us 14-foot tides instead of 8-foot.
The most shocking part of Hurricane Sandy was the fact that it exceeded expectations.
I think the sheer magnitude of it caught a lot of people off guard.
When Hurricane Sandy came, we were not prepared at all. I mean, not even the slightest.
Yeah, it was like an alien invasion of water. And not the good kind of water.
So yeah, I mean, it came right in front where there was literally boats on 14th Street floating in front of our window.
We had a sub-basement level office a block from here, and it was totally covered in water for 2 days. So we lost everything. Everything.
We're really concerned about another storm and the flooding that's possible, and we think that the next time it's going to come even further inland.
I'd like to see some type of flood protection in this area. That's going to happen. We're vulnerable, obviously, being this close to the water.
Something that just brings like more different walks of life, you know, another escape from just the busyness and the hustle and bustle.
There's this great space that could really become community space, cultural space, and active uses.
Everyone enjoys space. And in New York and other congested cities, it's hard to come by.
Anything that makes the cities greener is just such a wonderful thing for not only the environment, but the people that live in the city too, to be able to be around that space.
The plans, the berming, the sense of how it can become into the natural landscape itself, how we want to program that is really the next challenge. We are the link, we're the tip in the sense of the big U. It's important that the entire waterfront of Lower Manhattan build in the plans that have been put forward, because we can not only fortify this great city of New York, but be a model for cities all over the world.
Speaking of New York, here's a video about the iconic Empire State Building, which is having its own green remake.
We began our involvement with the building in 1961 when my grandfather Lawrence Wien, my father Peter Malkin, and Harry Helmsley bought the building. So our experience started a year before I was born. It's an incredible burden and joy to work with.
We're in the midst of a $500 million upgrade to the property that includes renovating all common areas, mechanical and electrical system upgrades, so virtually complete building-wide upgrade program.
We have to prove it's good economics.
And the process actually started in May 2007 at the Clinton C40 Cities launch.
Early on, we had a large brainstorming session in which we came up with over 70 potential energy efficiency measures for the project.
In this case, it was an iterative approach. We would get some information together, we would share it amongst ourselves, come back, we would have debates. Usually you give, hey, this has worked for me in some other places. You zero in on those things. But we actually challenged ourselves to look at other things that we don't normally do.
We tested close to 70 ECMs, energy conservation measures, by modeling them against the energy consumption profile. And we only chose 8. Together, those 8 energy conservation measures, deployed in the building and in tenant spaces as we refit the building for new tenants, made the difference. 38.4% savings.
Historically, we've taken a look at windows and we say, they have a 20-year payback. There's no way it's going to work.
When you look at the size of the building and how many windows there are, it's a huge percent of the facade. I think everybody said, what? And then after we all looked at it, one by one, we all became believers, and now we're going to do it.
We're actually taking down 6,500 windows, refurbishing them, making them more energy efficient.
By changing the building envelope insulation, both through the windows and against the walls themselves, it lowers both the heat and cold loads on the building.
The way we as engineers like to look at it is what we call interactive effects. When we think about, well, the windows are going to do some good, well, yeah, they'll save energy, but more importantly, they'll make our system smaller. Our heating system is smaller, our cooling system is smaller. That optimization is much different than just what's the energy savings from a better window.
Integrated design was really important because it forced us to look not only at energy savings, but also at capital cost savings. If we had just looked at projects in isolation, we would not have come to that conclusion.
I'll give you a sense of the impact. As part of our program, we thought we're going to have to retrofit and upgrade the cooling of the building. We're going to have to add capacity. We actually have overcapacity in our cooling because we've reduced the heat load and we're managing the heat load better. So there's massive innovation here by looking at an integrated approach.
In a multi-tenant building, you have to think about the people who are going to live in the building. So one of the really exciting parts of the Empire State Building is the fact that the owner has decided to do some pre-builts that demonstrate that you can marry energy efficiency with ambiance. It's a way to very concretely convince tenants that they can reduce their carbon footprint, reduce their energy, water, heating needs, and at the same time have a very unique and interesting space.
We're going to be delivering the exact same work environment, in fact, perhaps a healthier, better work environment for far less energy consumption. And particularly in doing the project as part of a total comprehensive upgrade to the building, at any rate, 3-year payback.
But New York is only one city. Here's the big picture on how big cities are changing the world, narrated by the actor Edward Norton.
This is the story about how the world will look in 2030 and beyond. It is the story of how urbanization will change the surface of our planet and the biodiversity that is an essential part of it. Over the next 40 years, Earth will undergo the largest and fastest period of urban growth in human history. By 2050, an additional area the size of South Africa is projected to become urban. By then, 6.3 billion people will live in towns and cities, an increase of 2.8 billion from 2010. A more than doubling of the world's urban population in just 40 years. The most rapid and extensive urban expansion is occurring in places adjacent to some of the world's most biodiversity-rich areas. In many of these areas, people have limited economic and technical resources to deal with the challenges that come with the growth. But urbanization also provides opportunities. Cities are hubs of change. Cities can and must take the lead for sustainable development. Cities can provide the solutions to conserve and protect nature and the ecosystems we depend on. Because we know that rich biodiversity can exist in cities, and urban ecosystems can significantly improve human health and well-being. We know that more conscious lifestyles and smarter development can help protect and support a rich biodiversity both inside and outside of urban areas. Well-functioning ecosystems can help reduce risks of water shortage, droughts, storms, and heat waves. They can help to curb environmental degradation. That is why unleashing the potential of cities is vital to securing our sustainable future.
You can see more big data films at globaia.org. Learn about the strategy behind the Green Empire State Building at rmi.org. And see how the Dryline fits New York's plans at rebuildbydesign.org. Then tell us what you think at thisplanet.tv.